As you all know, we have a tradition at ESA of seniors having an opportunity to have the stage, to have the platform, to share a little bit about their lives and what's important to them. And so it's a little bit late in the year, but we're privileged to have our very first senior chapel of the year, Reuben Egan. So, first off, I want to tell y'all that I want this chapel to be memorable. This isn't going to be another senior chapel where I have a PowerPoint set up with pictures of my family up on it. I'm not going to be pointing up at the campus and be like, so that's my mom, and she's cool, I guess. This isn't going to be another chapel where I tell y'all about how fantabulous ESA is, because we've already heard that like 80 million times. Thank you, Izzy. I'm not gonna give any shout-outs with weird inside jokes that nobody will get. I'm not gonna be like, so that's my friend John, and he likes spaghetti. I'm not gonna do any of that. Instead, today, I want to do my favorite thing up here: talk about me. This will only take 2 hours. I want to talk about me, and I want to tell some jokes in the process. And speaking of jokes, this chapel is going to have a lot of them. So even if they aren't funny, just laugh. My psyche is too fragile for y'all to not laugh, okay? Jesus wants you to laugh. You know, we go to a campus where we have thrown pies at each other. We have field day and play buck. We play battle ball with teachers. So it really shouldn't be a surprise that not all of us are going to grow up to be doctors and scientists. You know, it was pretty funny because I used to have a free with people like Jake and Ella and Sam, and you know, it was pretty funny the differences in goals between us. Because, you know, they asked Jake, what do you want to do? I want to be an astrophysicist. What do you want to do? I want to be a marine biologist. Reuben, what do you want to do? Comedy. It's funny, but it's my truth. And speaking of comedy, what I really want to talk about is how humor has influenced and even saved my life for as long as I can remember. For all my life, humor has pretty much been the only way I've known how to comfortably interact with people and uncomfortably interact with people. It's how I've dealt with all kinds of adversity, and it's pretty much always been my crutch. So, our story begins in middle school. Off to a rocky start already. You see, in middle school, I wanted to be funny. I really wanted to be funny. But my problem, like a lot of middle schoolers, is that I was trying to be funny so hard and so often that I would just come off as aggressively cringy. But believe it or not, I still actually have that problem sometimes. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I can confidently make people laugh here up on stage, but I cannot not be awkward in person. Like, I can talk to all of you, but I can't talk to any of you. And the reason why being funny has always been so important to me was because it always seemed like my way in. You know, other kids, they seemed like they were just popular. You know, it seemed like it was inherent. And it seemed like they had some kind of secret that I didn't know about. And it turns out that for all this time, that secret has been Axe body spray. But yeah, I was never the fastest. I was never the strongest. I used to not be the most good-looking. Alright, some of you laughed a little too hard at that. But yeah, my jokes, I felt like they were all I had a lot of the time. And it was pretty funny. I'd be sitting in 6th grade at a lunch table at lunch, and there'd be like one of the cool kids who like ran the 6th grade. And he'd run up to the lunch table and be like, "Your jokes are stupid, Reuben." But I kept at it. And eventually I learned a pretty valuable lesson. I learned that in order to be funny, I can't always just be fishing for laughs. You know what I mean? What I say up here needs to have substance. Now don't get me wrong, love a good fart joke. Love a good fart joke. But I don't want that simple humor to be all about. What I say up here, it needs to matter. That's one of the most important lessons I've learned growing up with this weird, psychotic need to make people laugh. Humor is what's got me through school. Well, humor and Reuben's 4 crucial rules to surviving at ESA. Let me quickly walk you through Reuben's 4 rules to surviving at ESA. Rule number 1, be relatable. Once you got to know your teachers, it's good to casually refer to them by their first names. To show them that you know the answer, to show them that you're friendly. Isn't that right, Gary? Rule number 2. When in class, be confident. When in class, feel free to finish your teacher's sentences for them. To show them that you really know the answer. Rule number 3. Be flexible. Once you're old enough to start driving yourself to school, the starting time for class is less like an actual rule and more of a guideline. And rule number 4, dress code. Those are four of Reuben's crucial rules about the EDSA. So, like I said, humor is how I've dealt with all kinds of adversity. A lot of people probably know that my dad died when I was a freshman. And to give you an idea of the kind of person he was like a much older me. And who doesn't love me? I'll remember that. To give you an example, he once said to me, "Speak first, then apologize later." And my mom didn't like that, so he apologized later. And just to be perfectly clear, he did not at all want me to be rude or disrespectful, but what he wanted me to do was to understand that if I had something funny in my head, something that I could potentially get kicked out of class for, I had to make a really conscious choice of whether or not it was worth it. It's not always worth it! But yeah, he just wanted me to know that he wasn't going to bail me out. He wanted me to take ownership. He took me seriously. And it could have been so easy for him to just give me a smack and tell me to shut up. But that's what my mom did. Love you, Mom. But yeah, it was rough. past, for a while I hated everything, and I had to go to school and be miserable, and people would look at me like I was some kind of bomb, like they had to be careful what they said around me, and it was actually the only time in my life ever where I didn't want attention. But yeah, I kind of used humor to be like, don't ask me how I'm doing because I'm funny. See, everything's fine. It's all fine. Humor's what got me through that. Well, humor and cats. And you know what? While I'm on the subject of cats, let me quickly explain to you why I think cats are better than dogs. You see, dogs are not smart. Dogs are dumb. Dogs worship you blindly. They think you're some kind of god, all right? Dogs follow you around. Cats, on the other hand, are smart. Cats are like having a roommate, like an actual person, all right? Cats will walk into your room while you're just sitting there and give you a look that just says, are we seriously out of orange juice again? And you wouldn't go up to a roommate or any person at all and go like, come here, who's a good boy? Although that has admittedly worked on Marshall a few times. Welcome to my favorite joke of the set. But back to the point, humor, it's got me through a lot, and I feel like it will continue to get me through a lot. I've gotten to a point where I realized I can maybe make a living out of this, and that I'm not just obnoxious. And yeah, I know that money will prove to be an issue, but I'm confident my humor can get me through anything. And besides, if I wanted to say nonsense into a mic and make millions, I'd put on a bow tie and be a Fox News anchor instead. No offense at all to bow ties. In the end, what I'm trying to say is this. I've told some good jokes, I've told some bad jokes, some worse puns. I've learned to laugh at my learning experiences. I've used humor when I didn't fit in and I felt like I had nothing to contribute. I've used humor when I felt wronged and powerless to do anything about it. I've used humor when the worst things in my life had happened and I was mad at the world. I've used humor when I saw that first grade in Miss Slater's class. Said earlier, we're not all going to grow up to be doctors and scientists. And I used to think that made me feel like I wasn't good enough. Made me feel like I was inadequate, but I've used humor to find out that that's not true. I've used humor to find out that I'm not worthless, that I'm a person of mediocre value. And speaking of that, I said I wasn't going to give any shout-outs, but forget that nonsense, all right. Shout out to my B and C average students out here. Come on. Yeah! We don't get enough love. We don't get enough love out here on these ESA streets. We don't get the recognition. Humor has saved my life, and it's shown me a future. So, I'm gonna leave you with one last thought and we can get out of here, right? So, this basketball game tonight at JV Varsity 536 come out, support, go with it, power, 2.